child prays for peace on earth, and she's calling out from a sea of hurt. Oh come, Emmanuel. And can you hear the angels singing, glory to the light of the world, glory, the light of the world is here.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Carrickfergus Vineyard Church. It's so lovely to see you this morning, whether you're here with us in the town hall or whether you're watching online. Thank you for being with us. I'm just going to read a psalm, well, not a whole psalm, a couple of verses from a psalm, and then pray, and then we're going to worship God together. So why don't we stand together? How lovely is your dwelling place, Lord Almighty. My soul yearns, even faints, for the courts of the Lord. My heart and flesh cry out for the living God. Lord, may our souls yearn for you this morning. Lord, whether we've come distracted, overwhelmed, happy, sad, whatever, God, I just pray now that we would be able to focus our attention on you, Lord, to fix our eyes on Jesus, the author and perfecter of our faith. And Lord, I just pray this morning that you would be the lifter of our heads. Lord, where some of us feel weighed down and weary, we're looking down, Lord, would we just look up as we worship you, as we sing these songs? We believe that we can enter your presence. So let our souls yearn for you this morning, God. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Spirit of the living God, come fall afresh on me, come wake me from my sleep, and blow through the caverns of my soul, pour in me to overflow. And Spirit of the living God, come fall afresh on me, come wake me from my sleep, blow through the caverns of my soul, pour in me to overflow. And Spirit of the living God, come fall afresh on me, come wake me from my sleep, blow through the caverns of my soul, pour in me to overflow. Joyful righteousness, light and life to all He brings, risen with healing in His wings. Miles He lays His glory by, born that man no more may die, born to raise the sons of earth, born to give the second birth. Heart the Lord, oh my soul. Oh, my soul. I worship His holy name. I sing like never before. Oh, my soul, I worship your holy name. And on that day when my strength is failing, the end draws near and my time has come, and still my soul will sing your praise unending. 10,000 years and then forevermore. Bless the Lord, oh my soul. Oh, my soul. I worship His holy name. Sing like never before. Oh, my soul, I worship your holy name. Yes, I will worship your holy name. God, I will worship your holy name. What a wonderful name it is. What a wonderful name it is. The name of Jesus Christ, my King. What a wonderful name it is. Nothing compares to this. What a wonderful name it is. The name of Jesus. Let's sing it again. What a wonderful name it is. What a wonderful name it is. The name of Jesus Christ, my King. What a wonderful name it is. Nothing compares to this. What a wonderful name it is. The name of Jesus. Death could not hold you. The veil tore before you. Silence the boast of sin and grave. The heavens are roaring, the praise of your glory. For you are raised to life again. You have no rival, you have no equal. Now and forever, God, you reign. Yours is the kingdom, yours is the glory, yours is the name above all names. What a powerful name it is. What a powerful name it is. The name of Jesus Christ, my King. What a powerful name it is. Nothing could stand against. What a powerful name it is. The name of Jesus. What a powerful name it is. The name of Jesus. What a powerful name it is. The name of Jesus.
Amen. You can take your seats. Good morning. It is so lovely to worship with you this morning. Whether you're in the room or online, you're very welcome. If you are new with us, whether online or in the room, we would love to connect with you and tell you a bit more about our church through our monthly newsletter or letting you know about our connection events. There is if you're in the room, there's a connection card at the welcome desk that you can fill in, and we can get you connected. If not, you can send us a wee email, and we'll get you connected in. There is a lot to get through this morning. As you know, Christmas is a busy season for the church. So I just want to share a few things that are going on in this month. So before you take your kids out to Sparkling Gems, if you have any, just want to make sure you're all aware that this is the last Sunday for kids ministry during the service. So next Sunday, there is no Sunday morning service. So if you show up next Sunday morning here, then you'll be by yourself. So you can have lots of fun there. But if you go to Kilcregan Farm, you'll get to do the nativity trail there, and that'll be a brilliant morning. And I hear there's going to be people dressed up and everything, so lots of fun to be had down at Kilcregan. And then we're having an all-age service on the 19th of December here in the town hall. So everyone's in together, and that'll be lots of fun. And then also Tots Tea Room are having a Christmas party this Wednesday, and there's a small charge of £2.50 per adult just to cover all the festive treats that you'll be having, and you can sign up on the website for that. So if you have a child who's under 4 and who goes to Sparkling Gems, you're very welcome to take them to the Dobbs room out the back now. So last Sunday, Brian did a brilliant job at sort of running through all these announcements, and I'm sort of feeling the pressure because there is quite a lot. So he reiterated a lot of times. Did you ever go to like a holiday Bible club or Sunday school where they did memory verses each week, and then you had to remember what they said the next week, and you got a prize? Well, I have a prize for anyone who can remember. It's not a Bible verse bookmark. I can find one of those at short notice on Sunday morning. But if you can remember where you go to get all the information about Christmas in Carrickfergus Vineyard, who's going to go for it? Who was shouting there? I can't hear. Sharon, where was it? What's the website address? Oh. Anybody else want to trump Sharon? Who said that? I heard it from this. Brilliant. So you get a bag of chocolate money as a prize. So everything I say, sorry Sharon, you didn't really listen. So everything I'm about to tell you, you will find on carrickfergusvineyard.org. And then, do you know the way they always built on the Bible verse? It's carrickfergusvineyard.org/Christmas. So that's where you find all the information about Christmas in Carrickfergus Vineyard. Right, okay, let's run through this all super quick. CAP Presents, thank you so much for all your generous donations of gifts for CAP. This is going to people who are going through the budgeting course in our local area and who maybe can't afford presents this year or just finding things a bit tight, so to be able to provide them with a present is really lovely. So thank you so much. Today is the absolute deadline for presents, which you can leave at the tree. And if you've forgotten again, talk to Gina and we'll get something sorted out. Our Christmas treat hampers are in such high demand, so we have over 80 people have been referred by schools and agencies in our town for a bit of help this Christmas. And that's over 300 people that we are going to be sharing just some treats and also hopefully the hope of Jesus this Christmas. We need some more stuff. So we've got enough Ballawina wine to have a bath in, but we could do with about 50 things of after eights, 50 cranberry sauce. We could do about 30 of the Christmas biscuits or Christmas tins of sweets, and about 20 boxes of Christmas crackers would be brilliant. So you have until the 19th of December to pop them along in church. That would be great, and thank you very much for that. And then also we need a team of delivery drivers on the 23rd of December from 7 o'clock to go and take these hampers out. We've got about 60 hampers we need to deliver, so you can sign up online to do that. That would be amazing. Okay, next one. Our Christmas carol service, this is so exciting, is happening next Sunday night. Is that next Sunday night? Where is December going? So it's either 5 p.m. or 7 p.m. Sign up online, and it would be lovely occasion to invite people along to, any of your friends and family. Everyone loves a good carol service at Christmas, and it'll be here in the town hall. What's next on the list there, Tom? Have I missed anything out? Hog roast, well, it's all sold out, so well done you that got tickets to the hog roast, but unfortunately last tickets went last night, so that'll be, sorry, Tom is mouthing something at me. Home for Good, thank you very much. So during the carol service, we are going to be taking up an offering for Home for Good, so they work with promoting support for vulnerable children and teenagers who are in care in Northern Ireland, and so we're going to be taking up an offering to go to their work here in Northern Ireland. So just to give you a wee bit of heads up about that would be great. And lastly, as I said, about giving, all this stuff doesn't just happen without the support, financial support of you guys. And this is a really good investment in this season to really just share the hope of Jesus and to see God's kingdom built in Carrickfergus. So if you would like to invest a bit of your money as well as your time in that work, here are all the ways to donate on the screen. Thank you very much. And one last thing, we're having tea and coffee after the service, so you can get it out in the foyer, but please, if you can sort of use this space to congregate in, because it's kind of tight in there, and we still want to keep everyone as safe as possible with COVID. And so where do you have to go to find out all the information? fergusvineyard.org/Christmas. Hopefully the next person will have some treats for you, but I'll get you your chocolate coins. Thanks so much.
And those in Glasshouse, it's time to go. First to
Sorry,
30.
Emma reminded me of
Talk
that.
amongst yourselves. I'll be up there in a couple of minutes.
Of our dear Saviour's birth. Long lay the world in sin and error pining, till he appeared and the soul felt its worth. A thrill of hope, the weary world rejoices, for yonder breaks a new and glorious morn. Fall on your knees, oh, hear the angel voices, oh, night divine, oh, night when Christ was born. Oh, night divine, oh, night divine. Truly he taught us to love.
I feel under pressure. Who cut the music? Brian, I was enjoying that. Who did? Someone else? Tom. How does he do it? I don't ask. I'm not even asking that question. I'm the most untechnical person going. Good morning, everyone. It's lovely to be together. Good morning. Oh, good morning. The season is here. It's upon us. Who's excited? Anyone? I put the decorations up yesterday afternoon. Complete surprise to my wife. I hate doing the decorations. I've spoken about this many times before. Hate it, hate it, hate it. I thought I'm going to muster the energy, get up in the loft, get the stuff down. Got 2 trees up, 2 sets of lights up. Did the mantelpiece, you know, the bit above the fire, the nativity scene, lights, everything. Absolutely amazing. I thought that is brownie points scored for a long time. Chantel comes home. What's the tree doing up? Shepherds don't go there. You got the lights in the wrong place. Can't win. Just cannot win. So needless to say, that is the last time I'm ever doing the decorations. You may get them from the loft yourself as well. You're on your own. Tis the season, isn't it? So last week at the end, I made a bit of a faux pas. I had sort of said, next week, this week being the first week in Advent, not realizing this is actually the second week of Advent. So I thought I'd try and rectify the situation by taking some time to speak about Advent. And so I want to do a very brief thing about the historical kind of background of Advent, which I learned a lot about during the week in a little bit of reading. So I want to share some of that. Makes me look intelligent. Well, it actually makes me look like I've read someone else's stuff, and so I'll regurgitate that to you. And then secondly, I want to teach and help us to remember what I'm talking about this morning through an incredible acronym that I've come up with, which is the word warm. We're going to have a very warm Christmas this year, and all will be revealed as we go. And so as I was looking and reading a little bit into Advent, I came across the following, and I thought it was actually really interesting. That the word Advent is derived from the Latin word adventus, which means coming, which is a translation of the Greek word parousia. And so scholars believed originally in the 4th and 5th century, especially in places like Spain and Gaul, that Advent was a season of preparation for the baptism of new Christians at the January feast of Epiphany. And this was a celebration of God's incarnation, the representation of the visit of the Magi, the birth of Jesus, but also together with the baptism of the River Jordan by John the Baptist and the first miracle of Canaan in Galilee. And all of these events were what was celebrated in the early Advent. And during the season, this season of preparation, of coming, it was actually marked by 40 days of penance, prayer, and fasting to prepare for the celebration. And in many ways, as I reflected on, that's a far cry to what we have made Advent about. So this was marked by a season of actually doing without in preparation for a celebration, whereas today it's very much a season of with, lots and lots and sugar and spice and cream and everything else on top as we celebrate, as we prepare for Christmas. By the 6th century, however, Roman Christians had tied Advent to the coming of Christ. But the coming they had in mind wasn't necessarily the coming that we celebrate, which is the coming of the birth of Jesus. It was when he comes again, as they would look forward to his coming. It wasn't until the turn of the Middle Ages that actually we and our Advent that we celebrate is actually linked and tied in with the birth of Jesus, with the celebration of when he came. And so we as a church today really find ourselves in many ways with a foot between two parts of history, really. Like the folks in the Old Testament, the people of Israel, the people of God, they looked back and they remembered all of the things that God had done, but longing and looking and preparing and wanting for the arrival of Jesus the Messiah to come. We now find ourselves in this period of history where we both celebrate and we look back and we remember and we prepare ourselves for his coming, but he's come, but also with one other foot looking, or one other eye gazed upon the time when he will arrive again, when he will come again and consummate his eternal glory. And so what I'd like us to do really this morning is talk about 4 things that all have a letter, and it spells the word warm. It's very, very Presbyterian, or maybe it's Anglican, I don't know. Maybe it's traditional. I've never usually do things like that, but I kind of had all these things, and I thought, oh, that letter looks like that. And I started playing like anagrams. Could I come up with a word? The trouble was, you'll find out when it comes to the A. In fact, we'll come to the A in a minute. Let's start with W, warm. Waiting. The original Christmas came after hundreds of years of waiting. Prophecies about Jesus were spoken long before he came. In Isaiah 7:13 says, Isaiah said, "Hear now, you house of David, is it not enough to try the patience of humans? Will you try the patience of my God also? Therefore, the Lord himself will give you a sign. The virgin will conceive and give birth to a son, and he will be called Emmanuel." And then later in chapter 9, verse 6 and 7 of Isaiah says, "For to us a child is born, to us a son is given. The government will be on his shoulders, and he will be called Wonderful Counselor, Mighty God, Everlasting Father, Prince of Peace," and so on and so on. These were prophecies spoken of hundreds of years before Jesus actually came. In fact, scholars would suggest that the time period between the end of the prophets and the coming of Christ is roughly approximately 400 years. The people of God were waiting, expectant for the Messiah to come, to free them from the tyranny of Roman occupation. And this 400-year silence was broken when, in the 6th month of Elizabeth's pregnancy, God sent the angel Gabriel to Nazareth, a town in Galilee. The angel went to her and said, "Greetings, you who are highly favored. The Lord is with you." The angel tells Mary, the same angel that had actually visited 6 months ago to Elizabeth, and said, "You're going to have a son, and he's going to be called John." This broke the silence, the waiting. The waiting was over. The Messiah was to come. And then, of course, you have Mary and Joseph, who have to wait a period and process of 9 months in expectancy for Jesus to come. Luke 2, Joseph also went up from the town of Nazareth in Galilee to Judea, to Bethlehem, to the town of David, because he belonged to the house and the line of David. He went there to register with Mary, who was pledged to be married to him and was expecting a child. While they were there, the time came for the baby to be born. Expectant parents they were, like expectant parents that we have in the room. They're going to serve us tea and coffee afterwards. Matt and Catherine, sorry to embarrass you, but that period and that process of waiting and longing and the expectancy of, oh my goodness, life is going to change. And it's going to mean this and it's going to mean that. But boy, is it exciting as we wait expectantly for what is to come. Christmas itself has a degree of waiting. We're waiting, counting the days down. I remember as a child waiting for Christmas. And I remember I used to say these words, "I can't wait till Christmas." And I remember that feeling, that kind of physical feeling in those daydream kind of moments of, oh my goodness, I can't wait until that happens. Our world is in a state of waiting for things to be different. I was with some friends last night and we were having the conversation that tends to come up often, which is something called COVID. You might have heard of it. And we sort of said, when is it going to ever sort of change? Just 1 minute we feel like we're kind of coming out of the woods, and now with another variant which could affect all our lives again. When is it going to ever kind of change for us? Some of us in the room are waiting for other things that are important in our lives. Waiting for the results of a medical test. Waiting for the results of an AQE test, as are happening right now. Waiting to see if things will ever change. Waiting, some of you, to see a loved one which you haven't seen in such a long time. Waiting for change, waiting for a baby, waiting to get married, waiting to see a loved one actually pass away. Waiting. The point that we're making here is, what is God doing while we wait? He's working in our waiting. And I remember during the second lockdown period, I think we did a teaching or two on it. It was an online thing, it was a Zoom. And it was one of those moments of like, this really feels like the Lord. And I kind of mean that because some of you kind of got in touch and sort of said that is it. That's where I'm at right now. And I feel like, I have felt like this last season, however long it will last for, has been a real season where God is actually working in our waiting. And not to despise what he's doing, even though life feels incredibly challenging and difficult at times. What is he doing? What is he up to? What is he cultivating within us? The last point on waiting is it's a season. This season that we're in is a season where we have the opportunity to wait upon the Lord. The Psalms are filled with these kind of promises. Psalm 40 is one of them. I waited patiently for the Lord. He turned to me and heard my cry. And this is a great time and opportunity as we wait to wait upon him. And as we wait, we anticipate. At first, this was expectancy. There's an air of expectancy, but then when we spelt the acronym, it spelt worm instead of warm. So I had to substitute that to anticipate. So for the three of you that are taking notes, you might want to put in expectancy in brackets beside it. We eagerly wait with anticipation or expectancy. I've already kind of alluded to that with children who just longing, they're kind of waiting, but really excited and anticipating something. And this Christmas season has all kinds of build-up towards it, doesn't it? The gradual build-up. Those of us, I don't include myself in this, it's sick. Those of you that put up your decorations in November, that is sick, and we will pray for you afterwards. For those of you, there's so much shopping that needs to take place. Ordering the turkey. I was walking through the DeCourcy Center on Thursday or Friday, and the NAF Christmas hits are playing, and you're just like, oh God, dear, we have to go through all that again. But it kind of builds and builds with this expectancy of anticipation. It's gonna come. We're gonna get there. We're just counting the days away. We got a advent calendar there the other day, and I'm glad to say that actually, we bought it on the 1st of December. I felt like the naff husband who buys the Valentine's card on the day. Get there, sold out in Tesco's. I was like, praise the Lord. That's wonderful. I just have to tell Hope there's none there. Except there was a really expensive one. It was like one of those Lindt chocolate ones. I was like, oh my goodness, that's a rip-off. I mean, you want to see it. It's like this deep and chocolate in it. It's just amazing. It cost a tenner. I was raging. I was like, there's no way the kids are getting 3. You know the way you ever have to buy your children 1 each? And they like take up half the kitchen. Does my head in. And when it comes to recycling, I mean, my goodness, there's cardboard, there's foil, there's all sorts, plastic. I mean, there's all the 3 things you could anyway, I'm waffling. Why am I even telling you this? I have no idea. It's not even in the notes. Surprise, surprise. As we count down in terms of opening the windows towards the expectancy that someday we're going to get there, we're going to get to Christmas. I wonder what the shepherds were expecting when they're visited by the angels. The air of expectancy on that night. What about the magi, the wise men? What were they expecting to find when finally they met Jesus for the first time? I don't know about you, but again, I do feel personally in these last couple of years that sense of expectancy as believers for God to move and God to do things, if I'm honest with you, has been slightly marred and slightly dented. As time has gone, it is wearisome. It has been wearisome. Those words from that song, the weary world rejoices. It has felt wearisome. And we must remind ourselves that we are a people of expectancy, that we must expect God to move. We must expect him to hear our prayers and to answer our prayers. We are a people of hope, And as our church strapline says, this is a place of hope. As we prepare ourselves for this wonderful season as we're in, may we raise the bar again of expectancy of all that God is wanting to do in us and through us. And then on to R, ready. Are we ready for Christmas? Are you ready yet? Think of all the plans that we have to make. I've alluded to some of them already. And I enlisted the help of my friend Michael McIntyre, if he would maybe share a thing or two about being ready for Christmas.
Oh yeah, Christmas, all happening now, innit? All happening. Oh, the women, you can see they get that sort of organisational look in their eye. It's just completely obsessed with planning. I've got to get ready. I've got so much to think about. It happens, I think, at the final firework on fireworks night, when you have the finale, and the smoke clears, and you see all the women going, Christmas. Got to start getting ready for Christmas now. Christmas is coming. Don't talk to me. I'm thinking, I'm planning. There's so much to do, darling.
I knew there would be a sense of awe. I spent too long during my week watching Michael McIntyre videos, trying to glean any bit that I could for this morning. And it was just brilliant because I just loved it. I spent so much time wasted on it. And then I'm thinking, I can't show that because it's rude. I can't show that because it's like... And then I thought, if I show too much of him, you're not going to want to listen to me afterwards because he's so flipping good. So anyway, there's so much to do. There's so much to get ready for. But are we ready, honestly, to really encounter Jesus? The reason for the season. If I'm honest, there's so many times, there's been so many Christmases when it's been just flat to the mat. You're so busy doing everything, getting everything organized. And, there's so much to do that we often just forget about Jesus. And honestly, we need to prepare ourselves as we journey together through this season of Advent for the celebration, the birth of Jesus. And then, of course, not only that we would be ready for this Christmas and celebrating his birth, but are we honestly, genuinely ready for his return? Would we be ready if he was to come again? Matthew 24. 36, but about that day or hour no one knows, not even the angels in heaven, nor the Son, but only the Father. And they knew nothing about what would happen until the flood came. That's a bit in the middle that I was meant to cut out. That is how it will be in the coming of the Son of Man. 2 men will be in the field, one will be taken, one will be left. 2 women will be grinding with the handmill, one will be taken, one will be left. Therefore, keep watch, because you do not know on what day your Lord will come. May we be living our lives, our days, expectant for the arrival of him to come again. Are we ready? And then M is about making space. Making space for him. As I said earlier, we have this lovely nativity set. I'm sure some of you have one as well. And it has all the characters, the whole cast are there. You've got Mary and Joseph, and I don't need to tell you who's in the set. You know who's there. The reality, though, was far from lovely. It must have been utterly brutal. Mary and Joseph, they've had a very long walk, and it gave me the opportunity to show another map, because I love the maps there. This is according to Google. If you were to travel from Nazareth to Bethlehem on foot, it would take you 1 day, 7 hours, which is 145 kilometers. I tell you, that's good going if you were to do it in that time. The reality, being on a donkey, heavily pregnant, I'm just not sure. It would probably taken days to have gotten there. On arrival, there's nowhere to stay, but Luke 2:7, she gave birth to her firstborn, a son. She wrapped him in cloths and placed him in a manger because there was no guest room available for them. However, space was made. Yes, a bed for the night in the guest room would have been good. Yes, The Royal Bethlehem Maternity Unit would have been even better for her, but they were not available, but space was made for them to be there. Our dear friends, Andy and Angia, that lead Antrim Coast Vineyard there, one of their phrases they use is making room for another. And it so demonstrates their incredible gift of hospitality as they're creating, carving space, opportunities for people to gather, to be together with them, but to be together with Him. And we love that about what they're doing. We love this season. We love that this is a season of generosity, of giving. I love that what Kate shared earlier about the number of hampers that together our church community will distribute together. It's wonderful that, again, you've given generously to Cap Presents, to give to people that you'll never know who they are or know their name or see their face, but they will be blessed because of your actions and because of your offerings. Next Sunday, as was mentioned, during our 2 services, we're going to take up a financial offering. We'd encourage you to bring cash for that. That would be really helpful. If you can't do it there on the night, I'm sure we can sort something out afterwards. It's something that we don't often do. In fact, rarely in the time we've been going, we ever do actually is a physical financial offering. We're going to do that for a charity called Home for Good, of which you will have heard of because we've shown it. Chantel is on the board of Home for Good, and we give actually financially as a church towards their incredible work, working with children, trying to make sure that there is a room and space available for every child who does not necessarily have a home themselves. And so we would encourage you to give to that. Last night in our conversation, I loved hearing stories. I said, what are you doing for Christmas? Thankfully, this year we're going to get, for those of us who choose to meet together and have Christmas dinner. And I think a couple of people within the room said, we have this person, she's usually on her own, but they usually come to us for Christmas. I'm like, oh my goodness, isn't that wonderful? It's important as believers that we spend time making room for others. And the last point, of course, is that we make room and time for Him. There are so many incredible devotions that we could be following on a daily basis during Advent. The Lectio 365 is the one I'm following. There's also, I don't need to tell you, just go find them or check our Facebook group. Chantel's often posting things. There are loads of little really good ways that on a daily basis, it's not going to take up an hour of your time. It's going to take up a portion of your time. But boy, it focuses our attention. It creates space in our day, in our time, but it creates space in our hearts for Him as we prepare during this time of Advent, as we look towards celebrating the birth of Jesus. Let's stand together.
The mountains move. We come with expectation, waiting here for you. Waiting here for you. You're the Lord of all creation, and still you know my heart. The author
I love Christmas, the aspect of giving and receiving of gifts. And without this sounding cheesy or cliche, the greatest gift of Christmas is Him. And He is what we need to receive. And so right now we remind ourselves and we receive the gift of Him and His presence. So in this moment, in this time, God, we receive again from You. We thank You that You came as flesh. And we thank You that Your Spirit is now present with us. So we receive from You. Thank You. Right now in that moment, for many of you, it's like the light switched on again. All that chasing around, busying ourselves, doing this, doing that, worrying about this, fretting about that, trying to buy this, trying to buy that. It's meaningless. The gift available to us is His presence. That's what we need. We just need Him. So we receive You right now again, God. Thank You. Thank You. Yes, Lord. Thank You, Lord. Thank You for Your presence. We receive again from You. Recognize and realize that this season is a very, very painful season for many of us. God is in the room and He's right beside us, and He'll walk and journey through that again. If the Lord is speaking to you through that, or through any of this morning, and you'd like someone to pray with you, please just stay where you are, and there'll be folks in the room that will just be mindful and looking to see if you'd like prayer, and they'll come close to you, not too close, and they'll pray for you. We want to do that. But otherwise, children need to be collected. Tea and coffee needs to be drank, and it's through there. Again, when you get your drink, some of you come back into this room so that we can spread out. That would be great. Bless you. Have a great week. Book in for all those things on the website.